I am Julie Francis. I am an archaeologist with the Wyoming Department of Transportation. I also hold an adjunct position in the anthropology department at the University of Wyoming. The Oregon Trail was a 2,000-mile-long wagon road from Missouri to either California or Oregon that was used by over 400,000 immigrants in the 1840s and the 1850s to get to a new life and hopefully new fortunes on the West Coast.
Where the good rain falls aplenty and the crops and orchards grow, I'm gonna hit that Oregon Trail this coming fall. Well, the hogs and pigs are squealing, they're a-rocking and a-reeling, 'cause there ain't no water to waller in the draw.
The Oregon Trail actually began as a travel corridor for both Native Americans and fur trappers and traders. The large-scale migration began in 1843 with one of the first trains of wagons, 800 people, 120 wagons, and 5,000 head of livestock. Most immigrants walked the trail because it was too much load to carry in their wagons. And can you imagine coming here in your wagon, loaded with all your worldly possessions that you did not leave behind in whatever your homeland was to begin with?
I'm Wayne Sutherland with the Wyoming State Geological Survey. When you get to a river like this, you have some gravel terraces on each side. That gives you some reasonably good footing. At this place, Lombard Ferry, it's nice, probably a nice place to load onto this ferry. It may be a little dangerous getting across the river, but once you got across, you got on solid ground and you felt good about it.
I'm gonna pack my wife and kids, I'm gonna hit that western road, I'm gonna hit that Oregon Trail this coming fall.
They tried to follow the smoothest routes, but as they went, there were a number of guideposts. Pilot Butte on this side of the divide. As you were approaching South Pass, you had the Oregon Buttes to your left. Farther east, you had Split Rock. Every one of these things was a marker along the trail. Independence Rock. But all these were dictated by geology, and geology gave the landmarks that allowed you to follow the same route repeatedly.
I'm gonna hit that Oregon Trail this coming fall. Hit that Oregon Trail this coming fall.
With all that travel, with wagon trains, oxen, and in some cases hand carts, we still have physical remains of the Oregon Trail today that consist of the sand across the prairie, and in a lot of places, a swale or a kind of a broad trough in which the wagons would have traveled.
The wagon ruts were found in a variety of locations. Sometimes they were crossing relatively soft sandstone, and there you get very clean marks, parallel lines where the wagon wheels went. If you got into softer material, they'd get worn down a little bit quicker and they weren't quite as distinct, but because of the width between the ruts, you could tell it was a wagon rut rather than a modern vehicle.
Approximately 400,000 people made the journey from Missouri to Oregon or California on the trail. Of those, an estimated 30,000 lost their lives while they were en route for many different causes. Accidents, getting run over by wagons, being shot accidentally, sometimes perhaps even on purpose. Women died in childbirth, young children died. Disease was a huge problem. When the immigrants first were able to get across the Green River on the Sublette Cutoff, many of them inscribed their names on the hard sandstone on the bluffs above the Green on the west side of the river. That site is today what we know as Names Hill. You see inscriptions from the 1840s going all the way up into the modern day.
The Oregon Trail, because of the ruts and because of the routes and our modern highways following the same routes, it's a lot easier to see that geology did dictate where people moved.
Hit that Oregon Trail this coming fall, where the good rain falls aplenty and the crops and orchards grow. I'm gonna hit that Oregon Trail this coming fall. Well, the hogs and pigs are squealing, they're a-rocking and a-reeling, 'cause there ain't no water to